Okay, it's just you and me right now, but I'm sure more will come in. Everyone, please excuse my voice. I don't know what it is. It's a cold, or I thought it was allergies at first. Here we go. Hello. Welcome, everyone. So please excuse my voice. I've been wanting to get on here. Thank you, Kathy. She said she let Tina know. I'd been wanting to get on here, and right on the day that I was going to get on here, I thought I was catching, like, I thought it was the allergies, but I think my grandbaby brought something home from school. So anyway, I still wanted to get on here. It's taken a couple of days for me to get back to doing everything. So please excuse my voice. For those of you that don't know me, welcome. Thank you so much for joining. My name is Cindy. I am at Simply Cindy. I have I guess it's a cold because there hasn't been a fever. There hasn't been any GI issues, nothing like that. It was all in the head. And I'd been battling like a migraine. And but I have herbs that I take. I've already told my members about this. When COVID came out, when COVID came out, some of you will say it was downloaded. Some of you can say that however you want to say it. I put together something with the herbs and the knowledge that I have, right? And my higher self. And then over the years since we've had it, I have been, um, I have been, how do I say this? My clients and people that I've known, family, friends, clients, people that I've known a long time, uh, used it during that time. Now, I personally never got COVID. Um, and I was just thinking the last time I even got a cold or flu or anything like that, um, it's actually on a live that I did in 2017 or 2018. Hi, Rebecca. So 2017, 2018 was the last time I had the flu or a cold or anything like that. I never got the other stuff. Now, you guys know my past. So I'm always gloving up, masking up, all of that. Um, so this is actually the first time that I actually got to use the stuff that I made that I put together. This is stuff, these are herbs that will help support. Let me see if I can say this right. These are herbs that will help support um, when you have a virus or bacteria or anything going on, right? Now, this came about during the time of COVID because, like y'all know, I had to go through my own. I was really upset with the world. And then I was like, okay, how can I help? And this is when I put this together. So it's my putting together. You can say it's my formula um, with the knowledge that I have with my higher self. With I went into meditation is what I did, and then it came out with this. Um, and this I haven't personally had to use it. I A lot of my friends, family, and clients have used it, and they report that after the third day, like usually they'll call me or tell me I have so much energy, um, and I have to tell them to calm down because they're not done yet. yet. But that's today is the third day for me, and it's true. You have a lot of energy. This is. I'm so glad. I'm kind of happy that I finally got a cold, or I don't know if it was sinusitis, or a cold. It's all in my head, and I did. Um, I used both the things that it's a two-parter. It's a two thing that I use. It's tea and it's tincture that I've put together. And I didn't bring this out to the world because of Cindy. I am at work, so just pop it in to say hello, report, and report. Yes, I did the job you saw. Nice, Susan. Congratulations. Very nice. Very nice. So anyway, what I was saying is I finally got to use it because I didn't have to use it. I haven't had a cold or the flu or COVID or anything. I didn't have anything since 2017 was the last time, and it's on a live too. I just realized that I was on a live like right when I got better. And it was like during Christmas time or something. It was the flu that everybody had in 2017. That was the last time I had anything. So this is the like I don't know what this is. I thought it was sinusitis. I thought it was like sinuses. I thought it was allergies. This is my first winter in Oregon. So everybody around me has allergies and I thought, "Oh, okay, well everybody has allergies. I'm just getting used to this weather." Right? Anyway, I'm so glad that I got to use it. Um, Wendy got to use it before me, and through her, I was able to adjust some things. Anyway, it works fine. It works really well. It's a two-parter that I have, and I'm finally bringing it out to the world. Um, and I will let you guys know. It's to support you. It's to support hmm, to support you during the time that you have any sort of viruses, sinusitis, I won't say sinusitis. Any sort of viruses, any kind of crud, anything going on. This just supports your healing in that. And let me say this, you guys know this about herbs. We we do it ourselves, right? Our body is capable of doing it ourselves. So herbs um, just sort of help support that during that time that you are trying to get through these things, right? Um, so I am going to be offering it to my members first, and then I will be bringing it out to the public. I have not brought it out to the public because of the past 4 or 5 years, right? Um, but I'm ready to do that. Remember, there's no fear, no division. And since we all kind of understand that there is no medicine or anything that's going to cure you, but there are herbs. Mother Earth has everything available to you, to all of us, to be able to help support us during our time of misalignment. All these herbs are helping you do is realign yourself to your true self, right? They're very, I can't use the word. Yeah, I can't, there's a lot of words I can't use. Um, but the reason also that I'm bringing it out is because it's time. People understand better now. There's a lot less division and no fighting. Like I'd said before, I was watching the world and seeing how everybody was divided and sort of picking and nagging at the wrong things. And I was like, they're not. I mean, I had this issue where I was like, why should I help? Like, why should I help? They're just fighting each other. But I see that everybody has grown in the last 4 years, especially in the last 2 years. It is time, and so I'm bringing that out. The other reason was because there's a lot of industries, there's a lot of organizations that don't want you to know this stuff. But I feel like we're headed because it's Aquarius season. We're finally opening up and understanding that we've always had help, that we've always had support in this way. And so there's less fear about, how do I say this? I've got to choose my words wisely. Still have to choose my words wisely. It's going to come a time where I don't have to choose my words wisely. And I think that y'all saw that. Now, let me say this, I am not one side or the other, right? But with this inauguration, I can see what's going on. And we can see that as long as we stay together, as long as we group together and do not divide and do not have any fear, then we're headed to a better place. So, for that reason, also, I'm able to bring this out to the public. So, if you guys are interested right now and you really are, you can shoot me an email and say you're interested. I'll put you on the list. Um, because I only have 20 available of this support. Okay. And this is to support you during the time if you got whatever you got, the crud, viruses, um, bacteria, anything that's like starting. And I've already mentioned this to my members, but I'm bringing this out to you guys. So, welcome, welcome, everyone. Thank you. I know that was a long spiel, but I just had to get that out. 'Cause if not, I'm not into politics, but this time feels right. Yeah. And so I am telling you guys, that's the other thing I wanted to, because I have been wanting to get on for the last 4 or 5 days. I was working on herbs. Um, yeah, I was working on herbs, and then I started feeling like a migraine. So I got away from the herbs, and then I started like, oh, I'm going to do this video and this video and this video. And I started like doing them. And then all of a sudden my grandson got sick, and I was like, oh. So then I started my stuff. But through that, I was watching TikTok. And I told you guys, TikTok, I think I said this about 6 months ago, or almost a year ago, maybe. I don't even know. It's not going away. I'd already said that. I said that if it changed, then I would let y'all know. It hasn't changed. I mean, it went away for 12 hours. I guess that's going away, but it's not going to go away. So those of you that do TikTok, those of you that have TikTok, just know that I don't see it going anywhere. Again, if that changes, because things change all the time. But my prediction has been it's not going away. You don't have to fear for that. Anyway, during that time of it going away for the 12 hours that it went away, is as you guys noticed, it made big news that uh, the TikTokers said they were TikTok refugees, right? And they went over to um, a Japanese app. I mean, sorry, a Chinese app, which is called Little Red Note. But I mean, Little Red Book. Sorry, uh, Little Red Book, or I mean, everybody's named it Red Note, but it's really Little Red Book. Anyway, so they went to that Chinese app, and went and made friends, and the Chinese were so welcoming, and I've been sort of watching all that play out. But the thing that I was watching play out, I was like, this is exactly what I'm talking about. That's why I wanted to get online with you guys the other day and couldn't. Is because if you see, I said what Aquarius, what Pluto in Aquarius is going to teach us is how to work in groups and keep your anonymity, right? Which is exactly what happened. It happened during the North Carolina, the Appalachian, all of that. It's happened, and it happened on a bigger scale with all these TikTokers going over to that app, and the Chinese people being so welcoming that they're teaching people Mandarin, so welcoming that they're showing them how to how to work on this app, so welcoming. And yes, they have two different opinions about politics. They have two different opinions about lifestyle. They have two different opinions about their religious and their religions and their belief systems, but they still were able to work together. This is what I'm talking about with Pluto in Aquarius. And because it's Aquarius season, thank God I can get on today and show you guys it's Aquarius season. So we're even more Aquarian right now, right? But Pluto in Aquarian is going to show us how we can work in groups, even if that means two groups coming together with totally different lifestyles, with totally different belief systems, with totally different political views. I mean, it doesn't matter. That's how Aquarians are. And Pluto in Aquarius is going to show us sticking together doesn't mean you have to lose your belief system and yourself. You learn to adjust and adapt with a group as you keep your anonymity, as you keep yourself. That is what I just saw play out. And you're going to see more of that in the next 20 years. Watching that happen, so fascinating. I was so grateful to understand the astrology and watch it in action. Right, Rebecca? That's why I find astrology so fascinating. That's what I love about astrology. It's like I can show you guys what I mean. I can show you what's happening. Because like I said, as a medium, I can tell you, and uh when you go under you can see, but it's nice to be able to show you through astrology, because that's very different than showing you through tarot, right? But showing you through astrology, you can actually see what's going on. You can actually see how that comes together, right? And I know sometimes my wording is vague, like it's not specific for some people, as specific for some people, but that's because I'm looking at a bigger scale. I'm looking at, it's hard to explain the resonance that you got, that so 10 people can have the same resonance, but it's because it's their point of view, that the only way to describe it is more general instead of specific. But that's why people come to see me in my services, so that I can be specific to you, right? But when I'm doing YouTube, when I'm doing videos, I'm trying to be as general as possible where you kind of understand, right? So I hope that helped. So the next thing I want to say is happy birthday to all of the Aquarians. I am an Aquarius ascending. Um, but all you Sun Aquarians, happy birthday. It's going to be a ride. It's time for y'all to come out. I see that y'all are finally starting to come out. I see that y'all are finally starting to make your way. Um, Trust me, I get it. I was there. I'm an Aquarius. I was there. So you guys have to pardon me, my voice. I'm gonna. This is me being me. No longer. Remember authenticity. If I have to blow my nose, I have to blow my nose. If I have to cough, I have to cough. So I appreciate you guys joining. Thank you so much. So does anybody have any questions? Anybody have any comments? Anybody want to let me know what's going on? Uh, I will let you know those. I was working on the nodal videos when I got sick. So I have to redo those nodal videos because we're the nodes just changed signs on the 12th. So yeah, and this one is special to me, these nodal ones, because I'm having my nodal return. So your nodal return means that when I was born on my natal chart, I have the north node at 27 degrees and the south node at 27 degrees Pisces and the south node at 27 degrees Virgo, right? And you guys know I have talked about it for a long time. My south node is Virgo, right? So that is a very comfortable place for me. So your south node is always a very comfortable place. To me, the way that I understood it, the way that I understand it now, is that I have lived many lifetimes in in sort of that Virgo energy, and I have mastered that Virgo energy. So it feels very comfortable to me to be organized, to be critical. I've overcome that because it's my South Node. To be the wounded healer, right? It's very comfortable that, so everything that Virgo is about is very comfortable to me. And that's why throughout my life I've had a lot of Virgos too, because we kind of understand each other. Even though I'm not a Virgo, I'm a Virgo South Node, right? But the North Node, so the South Node for anyone, your South Node is where you have, to me, my understanding is where you've lived and mastered, you've lived that energy many, many lives, and you've sort of mastered that energy. Now, your north node is what you're moving towards, right? So you want to, like, it's almost like you want to incorporate that energy more into your personality or your soul. Yeah, your soul um, in lifetimes. So remember, when you're not in lifetimes, you're all of it. Okay, but when you're in lifetimes, it's like, that's why the soul is different than the spirit. It's the same, but it's different. The soul is sort of where your personality is, where where you grow things. But your spirit is where you're all of it, right? Um, And there's even more than spirit, but we don't have names for them. Anyway, um, so it's almost like with my personality, always being so serious, always planning, always making sure, being 5 steps ahead of everybody, like all of that that encompasses Virgo, that is very like easy for me, and it's sort of taken over my personality. I know this because I've done um, hypnosis. So I've done hypnosis many, like, I don't know, 10 times, 11 times, I don't even remember. I had to get, certified and licensed and all that. Anyway, but each lifetime, the big thing for me is that because I've had this personality, I have become too serious, right? It's the reason, like, look at what my career was. It's in the driest. It's researching and genetics and incorporating that stuff. Like it's very serious, but I have all these lives where it was very, very serious. And every time I look back on my lives, my lesson has been for a long time, like at least the times that I have gone under and seen those lives, um, it's that I need to learn to have some joy in this life, like to have a life with joy, right? Not so serious, not always trying to fight, not always winning wars, not always doing stuff like that, not always um like having the wisdom. I can't explain all my lives in one thing. It'll get kind of boring for y'all, but it's what I've gathered from looking at my lives, the ones that I've seen, the ones that were brought up to me is, yes, you are very wise. Yes, you do have a lot of abilities. Yes, you have fought a lot of wars. Yes, you've won a lot of things. Yes, you've done all of that, but you've missed out on your personality. Your soul has missed out on um the joy of living. It's always been like trauma and fighting and uh seriousness of healing people because there was some injustice or anything like that, right? So that's why I made myself a Gemini and a Sagittarius, right? That's why I laugh a lot, right? Because part of my soul is like, in a lifetime I want to learn to be easy. I want to learn to find joy and laughter in the smallest things. It reminds me of the Buddha. The Buddha is just not the Buddha now, but the Buddha's in the past, just so innocent, and but they have such. It's almost like I have so much wisdom. Yet I don't, and y'all know that Pluto's in my 12th house, so I'm really going deep with this. I have so much wisdom, and I know a lot, and I'm not saying I'm the only one. This doesn't come out of ego. Um, I have so much wisdom and talent and gifts, and I know a lot, yet the Buddha knows that too, and he's able to laugh, and he's able to smile, and he's able to find pleasure and joy in the simplest things. And that's what I'm missing. That's what I'm trying to grow. Does that make sense to everybody? Yeah, exactly. She said, Kathy said, does someone have a good joke for Cindy? She needs to laugh. Yeah, exactly. But that's why I made myself a Sag too. It's because I can, a Sag will find the optimism in everything. A Sag will find the laughter in everything. And a Gemini can. Gemini can go both ways, but a Gemini can laugh a lot and play. I need to learn how to play in life. I need to learn how to have fun. And there was a time when I was a little younger where I did for a little bit, right? So, as, and why could I do that? So, let me get back to why. In my South Node, that's the Virgo, that's the personality that's sort of overtaken me, right? But I'm trying to learn, North Node, Pisces, how to relax, how to trust in the universe, how to trust in myself, how to have joy in life, how to like I mean, you guys know Pisces. They're like, yeah, whatever. They could be like, let me say this. They could be like $100,000 in debt. And they're like, yeah, whatever. It's going to come. And it does because they have trust, because they're a Pisces, because there's no bounds, there's no limitation. There's no, and I'm just using that as an example, but there's no limitation. They know how to dream it. They know how to dream it. They know how to see it. That's the Pisces. They know how to let go. They don't trust that there's another side. They don't trust that this is not our only life. They don't trust that um that they don't trust in that. What they don't have to. They just know it. There's not a trust. There's not a separation for them. It's just they know it. They know there is another side. They know there are other dimensions. They know that there are no limits. They know. They don't try. They don't have to trust. They don't have to think about it. They just know it. That's what part of my personality, and I'm explaining this with the North Node, South Node. That's what I'm trying to balance with. You don't want to go. This is the thing. When you're working with a North Node, South Node, I see a lot of people say this, that you got to go towards the North Node and ignore the South. No, you don't. Don't ignore the South Node. What you want to do is balance it. You want to balance your North Node with your South Node, because you're not trying to forget who you are. You're not trying, there are good things in who you are. In all of the lives that I have lived, right? And I know I'm going way beyond, but all of this is the way that I can explain it to you guys, the North Node, South Node. In all of the lives that I have lived, I did well. I did really well, right? I was able to overcome. I was able to plan out. It was because of that. I don't want to lose that, but what I'm trying to incorporate is the relaxation of the Pisces, the knowing that even if I don't do this, I'm still okay, right? Even if I don't Virgo it out, even if I don't overplan and overthink and make sure and, you know, make sure and play chess, not checkers, even though that even if I don't, this is going to be okay. So what you want to do is you want to move towards the North Node. The North Node is going to feel like, to everyone, wherever your North Node is, it's going to feel like that thing that you want to figure out. Like you have this almost anxiety about it, like you're trying to move towards it, and you don't necessarily know why, and you're not going to be able to figure it out. You just move towards that, but do that incorporating your South Node, right? So the fact that, I'll give you an example, Virgo can plan, Virgo can research, Virgo can really know a subject, right? And so that part of me helps me understand that Pisces. Using those tools helps me understand that Pisces. The Pisces just wants you to relax, right? So my North Node just wants me to relax. And even if things come about, relax and just know it's okay, because it is, right? You may not see it right now, but it will unfold for you. Does all that make sense? Wow, I just saw you are on. Hey, Polly. Yeah, I just came on and I've been talking a lot of nonsense. Hold on. I'm gonna put you on a break while I blow my nose, okay? Ugh, I'm sure I didn't want to hear that. And I thought I had to sneeze, so I still may have to sneeze. Yeah. So, I had explained it already. You'll have to watch the beginning, Polly. But yeah, but the great thing is that it gave me a chance to use my stuff because I hadn't had to use it. I had to go by what everybody else was saying when they used my stuff. How are you, Polly? So does anybody have any questions about those nodal axis? I am going to do a video. Again, I was in the middle of doing a video when I got ill of the nodal. So I'm going to explain the nodal returns, a nodal reversal, and then in transit what Pisces North Node and Virgo South Node mean for us for the next 18 months because we just came from Aries North Node, right? Which was all about identifying who we were, right? Oh, that's right. Y'all are really cold down there, Polly. I forgot. Like, I can't believe Louisiana is snowing. I'm like, can we have some snow here, please? It's cold today. It's like 27 today, but I need snow. I want snow. And I think I can go an hour or 45 minutes here to the snow, which is just like San Diego. I used to be able to go an hour to the snow. Yeah. I told y'all I love the cold. I love the snow. I could live in snow like all the time. This to me is really good weather. I know it's probably freezing for people, but I love it. So, Kathy says my north node is in Aquarius. Yeah, that's funny because you're that Virgo sun. Yeah. With your north node in Aquarius, it's about discovering outside the box, not planning everything, right? So uh, let's see. Hey, Cindy, you've been saying yes, yes. 3 degrees in Kansas City with sunshine. That's really good. I love that, Susan. I was talking to Kathy earlier. She was like, "It's snowing." I'm like, "Ah, can it snow here, please?" So apparently where I'm at, it snows in February. So it's close. It's getting close. But anyway, I want snow. I thought I was gonna have snow for Christmas, but we didn't. And also to my members, I want to finish reading the book, but I know y'all don't want to hear me with this cold while I'm reading. So as soon as my voice gets better and I don't have the stuffiness, then I'll get back to reading the book. Yeah. So your north node. So Kathy, your north node is Aquarius, and your south node is Leo. Where Rebecca's north node is Leo, and her south node is Aquarius. You two would do really well knowing each because what Kathy is comfortable in, you need help with, and what Rebecca is comfortable in, Kathy needs help with. That's so funny. We got 14 to 18 inches 2 weeks ago. Still not all melted. Yeah, Kathy was saying the same thing. It's like it's just cold. It's been some hard times for Chance and I getting through these changes. Yeah. I bet Rebecca and Kathy, if y'all met each other, y'all would activate something in each other that you would like want to know more. You want to know more. You probably have that feeling if you were to ever meet. That's interesting. So, Susan, you want to tell us about, uh, oh no, you can't. You're at work. Sorry. You were just popping in. But I would love to hear because I can't remember what I said I saw. You guys have to remember when I'm channeling. Sometimes I don't remember. No, oftentimes I don't remember. Aquarius moon, Taurus sun, and rising. Ooh, Susan, you must battle with yourself a lot. It's, I'm just like that Aquarius moon with that Taurus sun and rising. Yeah, you probably get a lot of where you're like, I didn't realize I did that. I didn't realize she felt that way. I didn't realize he felt that way. I'm shocked at what they're telling me. Because that Taurus rising and sun wants to be right. You saw high energy rising from the position, something like that. Oh, yeah, yeah. And so it did happen? Rebecca, you live in, oh my God, fun. I hope our paths cross. Oh, yeah, they'll definitely cross one day. It's 24 degrees here. Texas is not a state that deals well in these freezing times. Thankfully, we lived in the mountains, so we know what to do. Yeah. Nice, Susan. Pardon me, I'm sorry. That is such a, like, I know I've grown because in the past I would have never coughed or blown my nose or even come on sounding like this. Now I'm like, nope, whatever. I wanted to let you guys know that I was doing okay. Sometimes I just get really involved in my work and like that's what was happening is I was getting really involved in doing videos. I've got a lot of catching up to do with the because for my members, I'm doing per sign for year 2025 of the stuff that you guys saw. So like the important dates, but I'm doing per sign. Anyway, I was working on that, and I also wanted to bring out the nodal and the nodal returns since they changed signs. I wanted to bring out that for the public. I was in the middle of that, and I'm working on herbs for clients. So I was like really working, and then all of a sudden, I just got the next day, like I started getting a migraine, which was weird to me because I haven't had a migraine in like, I don't know, 3 or 4, 5 years. I don't even know. And I remember I was talking to Kathy and Wendy, and I was like, it's so weird I'm getting a migraine. I can't believe it's a migraine. So, me working on stuff, I was already not coming on because I was in the middle of stuff. And then I get sick and it just delayed it even more. And then I was like, you know what? I got to come on anyway. I got to let them know what's going on. I haven't betrayed them and not working and not coming on. But so does everybody understand those nodal returns? Was going to message you, got a bit worried. Yeah, I know that you guys care about me. Glad you came on. Yeah, I know that all of you care about me, just like we care about everybody. But I know that y'all think about me, and I know that you care about me. And I'm an Aquarius. You have to understand. That is my embodiment is Aquarian, right? To me, time does not exist. Like I can manipulate it, right? That's just Aquarians. That's a gift. That's a talent we have. The other thing is that we're like, think of us as the nutty professor. We just get in our things, and then we forget to like, oh, there are people that really care and want to know how we're doing. I mean, honestly, the last 3 years that I was dating, that's how I lost so many boyfriends, because I would call them, this is so embarrassing. I remember calling one. I'm going to tell y'all something, and I'm going to tell them on public. I remember I was dating somebody, and then I called him, and he said, Cindy. And I said, how are you doing? What's going on? Blah, blah, blah. And he was like, Cindy, I'm seeing somebody else. And I was like, what? And I was like, oh, that's cool, whatever, right? And because we were just dating. And he says, I haven't talked to you in 2 months. And I was like, what? I thought I just talked to you like, this is really embarrassing. I was like, what? I thought I talked to you last week. He was like, Cindy, it's been 2 months. He's like, I thought you weren't interested. He's like, you broke my heart. And I was like, to me, it was like a week that I had talked to him. And I'm sure if any of them are watching from the past, they'll be like, yep, that's what she did. It's so bad. But that's what I do. It's like I get really focused. And because I'm an Aquarius, like I can forget that there's an outside world and that there are people that miss me, think about me, are worried about me. I have the Aquarian, I have the Sag, and I have the Gemini. They can all just be ghosting people, but not on purpose. It's not like I'm on purpose doing it. So I have made it a point over the last 5 years that I have grown to like make sure that I'm staying connected to people and being reminded that people worry, concerned, they think about me, right? So that's why I'm coming on too, because I'm like, I know y'all love me and I love you too. Like I love all of you dearly, but I just get in these little things. I'm dealing with two worlds. Actually, I'm dealing with more than two worlds. But think about also my life path is seven. I have a seven life path. I walk in this world and other worlds at the same time. A seven life path has their foot in this world and the others, right? By the way, did y'all like that number, the numerology video? Did y'all like that? Yeah, that's true, Polly. So Kathy can attest to that. Wendy can attest to that. All of you, Rebecca, all of you that have known me forever, you know that I will keep going, 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 and they'll shut me down if I need to rest. That's so true, Polly. Polly said, you know as well as I do that sometimes you get shut down because you need to rest. Yeah, I will get shut down. Like they'll hard shut me down. You have never experienced having a grandchild sharing everything with you. Yeah, that's true. That's very true. Very true, Kathy. Yeah, all of that is true. Anyway, so I have worked very hard um, to try to stay connected and like, okay, there are people that think about me, there are people that are concerned. So that was one of the reasons too. That's why I honestly I called Kathy and I was like, what do you think about voice? Because I'm going on, because I'm going live, because it's time. She's like, yep, it's time. There are people that think about you and love you. And I said, yeah, I gotta go on because y'all haven't heard from me. And I know that we were doing lives every day. Now, again, because the algorithm's changing with YouTube, as it does every year, I'll be going less lives and more videos. Okay. So I've got to finish that Pluto series. I've got the Uranus series. I've got the nodals. I've got the Saturn series. I've got like all these series to do. Plus, do the extra for my members, which I love. And plus, we're reading the book. So there you go. So did you guys did anybody answer me about the did you guys love the new did you guys like the numerology one? The numerology video that I released? I think I released it last week. That did your personal year path. If not, go watch it. It's really good. It sort of it sort of gives you a theme about like how your how your year is going to unfold. Yeah. It's just another thing to support like all the astrology. Oh, I gotta blow my nose again. Sorry, guys. Blowing your nose though in the camera, I'm like, yeah, nobody wants to see that. So Kathy said I loved it. Good info on numbers. Yeah. Um, and I've been really like watching how like your personal year and your day and all that stuff for the last, I don't know, like consciously really watching it for the last 5 years, right? Yeah, missed the reading the book. Hope you're able to come back soon on reading the chapters. I know, I missed the book too, Polly. So in my membership, we're reading a book that's a really cool book. In fact, that book, a lot of people can really relate to it, especially like Tina can, and there's people that can relate to it. It's just a really cool witchy sort of mystery book, right? Anyway, we do it in my membership where I will read to you and you just relax, have your tea, have your devil's lettuce, have whatever you want, have your drink, have whatever, and just relax and listen to me read. A lot of people like my voice. And so to me, I know all of you know this, but when I was really ill many, many moons ago, over 10 years ago, my friends used to read to me, like when I was in the hospital or when I was at home, and I couldn't even like lift my hand to brush my hair. A lot of my friends would read to me, and that is just a very loving way. I have really good memories of that. And then even as a child, my best friend used to read books to me. Anyway, because I have such a good view of that, I want to give that to the world. I want to give that to you guys. And so just to have you relax, it's fun to be in a group where we can all talk about the characters as I'm reading. It's not like a book where I'm not reading and then you can't interrupt. Like we're interrupting all the time. I'm making comments about the characters and all the time. So it's just a really it's almost like we're gathering as a group and just reading listening to this story. And the books that I read, I make sure not have picked them up before because I want to be just as excited and surprised as you. There's some words that I'll mispronounce. There's some things that I'll do wrong. So it's just a really relaxed, comfy space to be in, right? Now, I've been wanting to read some more because I'll usually read about 5 or 6 chapters, but because of my voice, I can't read. Yeah, way cool, soothing. Yeah. That's what I was hoping that you guys would get out of it is just to relax with your group, with people that you love and that you care about and just relax. Just get into that creative mind. There's so many things happening all the time in the world, and it is going to get better. It has already started, but it's just a way to just relax. My Pisces side, right? My Pisces North Node. It's too funny and interesting. Yeah, it is. I think it's she's a character, the main character. It's a so I can tell you guys. I think it's like a witch that didn't know she was a witch, and this isn't one of those young ones either. This is like for people our age, that can really relate. She talks about stuff that like people our age would talk about. It's not like this really young 20s witch that didn't really know she was a witch. This was made for us actually. This and the great thing about this book is that it's a series. Okay, so that's the great thing about this book is that I think there's 4 or 5 books about this. Hey, Karina, how are you? Yeah, if you guys have not seen the numerology video, you go back and look at it. I was just reading Kathy saying that it had good info on numbers. Yeah. All right, guys, I'm going to be on about 6 more minutes, maybe 7 more minutes, and then I'm going to let you guys go. It's truly, really, it is. That's what I love about it. Because I love those witchy books, but when I'm thinking about, like, oh, that was me back then, that was what I would do back then, or that was blah, 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 this book, I'm like, oh, yeah, that's what I'm doing now. Oh, yeah, I can see us all doing that now. Like, it's more relatable. It really is. I love that it's, like, for our age group, right? Um, what else was I gonna say? So I will probably be doing videos. It'll be with this voice like this because I have to finish them up because I got to get them out to you guys. But in the meantime, before I get those out, I had edited some of our lives down, so those may be coming out too. Does anybody have any questions? Anybody have any, yeah, questions about what's going on? I loved like Rebecca and I talked. I mean, she she commented on this. I was watching how Pluto in Aquarius was unfolding like right in front of my eyes with the TikTokers. They're so funny. They call themselves TikTok refugees, and they went over to the app in China, and how loving and accepting and open hearts that China was having. But let me tell you this. Let me tell you the second part. So, as beautiful as that was, right? Because I always want to give you both sides. As beautiful as that was, and I talked about how Pluto and Aquarius, I told you guys, it's going to teach us how to work in groups and keep our anonymity, how to work in groups and keep our own belief systems and not have to like give up anything for that, right? Just adapt. And watching all the TikTokers going to that Chinese app, Little Red Book. And this here's the thing. We Americans even messed that up. They're calling it Red Note. That's not what it is. Xiaosheng Xing, I think is what it is, but it's called Little Red Book. But even that, they're not upset about that. They think it's cute. They're so accepting. They're so loving. And this is what I was saying. They're so accepting and with open hearts, and that we're both Americans and the Chinese are realizing they have more in common. And it's the governments that are now the Chinese probably aren't going to say that unless they're in America, but it's the government. They're alluding to this. It's the governments that we have the problem with. We have been told so one thing and been indoctrinated with what the government has said, and so have they. And we're both understanding. They're so open-hearted. They're teaching everybody Mandarin. They're teaching you how to navigate in their app. They want you to stay. And the most beautiful thing that I've heard is that I will hear them say, and again, I'm not on the app. I can't because of my background. But I've heard them, so I'll see them. So they, a lot of them come to TikTok now, and so I've seen them say, if if this time ends, if we don't get a chance to gather again, you will always be in my heart. This time will always be special to me, and I hope this is what they're saying to us, and they want us to know. What I've heard is, I want you to know that this is a very special time in my life. And never in my life did I think I was going to see this or experience this. And I would hope, even if this is taken away, even if this is gone, that you will always keep me in your heart as I will always keep you in my heart. Hey, Tina, how are you? So we're watching that, right? So I'm like, this is what I was saying about Pluto and Aquarius, is like it's going to teach us two different groups, two different cultures, two different belief systems coming together and working together, right? And what did that do? That's making everybody in our government like look and say, for whatever reason they're saying they're shutting it down, which it's not going to be shut down. Anyway, but the other side of this that I want to make clear is the other thing too is for the 12 hours that TikTok was down, um, and this is nothing against like Rebecca, Rebecca, and anybody else. Uh, so now the big thing is when the Americans were gone from TikTok, um, the Australians and the Canadians and the people from UK, so basically Europeans also were talking a lot of shit about the Americans being gone because we're loud, we're boisterous, we're loud, we're annoying. That's just who we are, you know. This is the other part that I'm telling you about Pluto and Aquarius. And so when we came back online 12 hours later, we had people that were friends that were Canadian, Australian, and from the UK, right? That were saying, hey, they were all talking shit about you. Like they told us they were all talking shit about it. So what are we going to do as Americans? What we always do, we're going to fight. We do. We're loud, we're boisterous, and we will fight. Period. The end. You can call us, I don't know what you're going to call us, but whatever. It's just who we are. And what we as Americans do not like is if you're going to talk shit, you got to talk to our face, especially Gen X. Like, if you're going to say something, if you need to say something, say it to our face. Don't wait till we leave and um, then talk shit. Like, if you got something to say it. That's just kind of how we are. Now, not everybody's like that, right? Especially the British. The British would rather keep it in. They would just rather not say anything, right? But the fact that they were saying stuff while we were gone is the whole point, right? This is also Aquarius and Pluto. You have to know. Thank you. Uh, you have to know that Aquarius does not take shite from anybody. They just don't. And they will. Like, that's why you don't want to get an Aquarian mad because they will come at you and it's not going to be nice. They will know how to break you down. That's just how Aquarians are. So the fact that, and the Aquarians cannot stand people who are the way that the way, not we, the way that the Americans saw it that left, they're seeing it as you're backstabbing, you're not a true friend. And if an Aquarius feels that way, they're gonna shred you. They're gonna shred you. It's just the way that it is. So you have to know that in Aquarian energy, you remember Aquarius is ruled by Uranus. You're gonna see some shocking things. Some people could say some shocking things to you that you're like, whoa, I didn't realize they had it in them. Because Aquarians can be very like, almost feel like, Like they're very docile. Maybe docile too, not the word. They Aquarians can feel very cool headed, very, and they are for the most part because we can detach from our emotions, right? But Aquarians get to a point where it doesn't make any sense to be um docile or to be uh almost like they'll get to a point. Aquarians can get to a point where enough's enough, and when enough is enough, they won't lash, because I can say a fire sign will lash out. That's over like in 10 minutes. An Aquarius, when they say it, it's going to be the truth and it's going to hurt. And that's Aquarian, because they'll remember what your weaknesses are and they will bring that out and they will show you how you messed it up. Does that make sense? My TikTok page was so boring without the Americans. It was all, yeah, that's what I was hearing, Rebecca, from a lot of the British people and the Canadians too, is that it was just got boring. Here's the thing about Americans, because I've lived all over. I've known this about Americans a long time ago. Like, I came to that truth a long time ago, right? We're just loud, we're boisterous, we're in your face, and we always think we're right. Okay? But we have a soft side too. We're very loyal, we're very straightforward, and that's just not everybody's energy. That's just not the way that everybody's country is, right? So, as much as we annoy you, because we think we know everything and we don't, and we think we rule everything and we don't, and we think we're the good guy and we're not always, right? But as much as we annoy you, your life would be boring without us. It is what it is. And this is an Aquarian truth. It is what it is. You saw that. Like Rebecca said, my TikTok page. That's what I'm hearing from a lot of people that are British, a lot of people that are Canadian, a lot of people that are Australian. They're like, it's boring without it. It's just we're annoying and we're loud, but without us, it would be boring. It just would. It is what it is. And that's an Aquarian truth, right? Now, some people want boring, but that's not why you go to TikTok. You go to TikTok to be entertained. You can't be entertained by boring, right? Because boring is not entertaining. Ain't it the truth? My Aquarius moon does not like Two-Faced. No, we don't. Aquarians do not like Two-Faced at all, at all. But that's also what Pluto and Aquarius is showing you. It's showing you, like, you gotta, like, be careful what you say and own your business. Own what you say. That's Aquarian. And that's Pluto. Pluto is like, are you standing in what you believe in? Are you, like, and I'm not saying all British, I'm saying the ones that talk shit while the Americans were gone. Are you standing in your truth? No, because you didn't tell the Americans how you really felt, right? And yes, we can be annoying about your food. We talk a lot of shit. That's just the way it is, right? But Americans will also be like, if we talk shit about your food and it hurt your feelings, we would be like, "Oh, I'm so sorry, we won't do that again." Right? Like, if you just tell us, we'll adjust. But it's the whole keeping it in and then talking shit while we're not looking at you. It's like, why would you do that? Just tell us the truth and then we'll adjust it. Right? That's kind of how Americans think. It's like, why don't you just tell us? We know not everybody is like us, and we want to adjust to people because we know we're annoying. We know that, right? So if you will just tell us how you really feel, then we can not only bond more, but we can move on from there. And we won't do that again. That's just kind of how we are. That's Aquarius, Pluto, and Aquarius. Pluto is saying to all of us, are you being your true self? Authenticity. Are you standing up for what you believe in? Are you saying your truth? If you're not, things like this are going to happen. That's why Americans came back and started talking, and I mean, they are shredding. I'm laughing. Remember, I have to laugh at stuff. But they're shredding everybody. They're shredding. Like y'all don't understand. Like if you've never lived in America, y'all don't understand. When people say keep that same energy, like we mean it. When people say why are you quiet now, like we mean it. We will get in your face and say that. Gen X especially, but Americans as well, right? So Gen X, we didn't have keyboard warriors. We didn't have like Gen X, we're a different breed. If we had a problem with somebody, we went to their face and told them. That's just kind of how we are. We were raised that way. We just learned, it was eat or be eaten, That's kind of how it was. So we have no problem telling somebody. We have no problem telling people. And over the years, we've had to learn to calm that down because people can't handle it. We've had to learn to like, okay, I understand that other people can't handle this, so I'm not going to say what I really want to say. Like, y'all think Gen X is mean and bad. We only give you guys 10% of what we really want to say. Like, that's it. And we've learned to pull that back. We've learned to do that because we're used to, like, let's just get it done. We're used to, like, there's no feelings right now. Let's just get it done. Right? We are proud people. Americans are strong and love to laugh. It's true. And here's the thing we consider, I don't know if we consider y'all our younger sibling or our older sibling. I guess our older sibling because you're older. We consider the British our sibling. Like, we consider the British our sibling. Like, we can talk shit about you, but nobody else can. Like, that's how we consider you. You know how as siblings you fight and you'll shred each other and you'll pick at each other and you'll that's kind of how we see the British. We see you as bantering back and forth. You have your way, we have ours, and we'll like pick at each other. But don't let anybody else pick on you because we'll come after them. That's just kind of how we see you guys. I don't know that y'all see us that way. I know that's the way we see you. It's like you're our sibling, you're our sister or our brother. Um, and nobody else needs to be talking shit about y'all, only us. If we can talk shit about you, we can pick at you, but nobody else can. That's just kind of how we feel about the British. It's like we have this relationship where we love you, and you know, we kind of wonder sometimes, what are you doing? You know, but you're a sibling. You annoy us, but we love you sometimes. Like me personally, you don't annoy me, but I'm just talking about America itself. Like we just see you as a sibling. Like you're close to us and we love you, but there's some things we're like, what the hell are you doing? And we got to pick at you. But don't let anybody else pick at you because we ain't gonna let it happen. Kind of how we are. Have you ever had a family or seen a family where the older one, because the older one is usually the leader one, the one that will fight for the other sibling. But you've seen that one family where it's the younger sibling that will like shred everybody else if they pick on the older sibling. That's kind of how we are. We're like the younger one, but we will fight to the death for you guys. Yeah. Anyway, I'm just talking nonsense. I'm just trying to explain how we're very different countries, and what I wanted to explain was that Pluto and Aquarius, it's got really, really good sides, really, really good stuff where I just showed you China and America coming together. You're seeing the people, you're seeing the heart open up, you're seeing that, but you're also seeing where Americans came back and they will shred you. That's Aquarius. You piss us off, you piss that's the Aquarian energy is like stand in your truth, stand in what you believe in, don't back down. Um, we'll have more respect for you. That's also Aquarian energy. Like I'm trying to explain Aquarian energy because this is what we're going to be going through. So even though in the next 20 years we're going to have a lot of great things coming, but we've got a lot of truths to find out. We've got a lot of, and like you guys know, Aquarian is a fixed sign. So you guys have heard me say over the years where I'm like, sometimes I can't stand myself. That hasn't happened in a while, but back then I'd be like, oh my God, I can't stand my Aquarian side because it's so fixed that Aquarians can think that once they make their choice about something, once they make their decision about something, it ain't moving. It ain't moving. Now, I know some tricks to make it move, but I've never told Aquarians because that's my trick. But I know how to make an Aquarian move. Oh my God, my older sister cannot even stand up to my shredding. She is slimy and is consistently getting called out on her BS. Exactly. Exactly. In Michigan, we love Canadians. We all love, we love Canadians. We love the British. We love Australians. I mean, honestly, we've always loved the Australians. We didn't know the Australians had a problem with us. And I'm just talking in general because I don't feel this way. In general. But anyway, yeah, you're that family I'm talking about, Susan. We're the younger sibling. It's like, "Rah, don't attack my sister or brother. It's mine to do." Yeah, it's so funny on TikTok. They were saying, and you Canadians, y'all know better. Y'all are like our neighbor. Y'all are neighbor. But trust me, probably what, about 5 years ago, 10 years ago, we didn't realize. Now, again, I've known for a long time because I've lived all over, but a lot of Americans didn't realize that we were so annoying and loud and boisterous and blah, 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 right? Um, so we're better about that now. Yeah, we're better about that now. I'm just thinking what we need y'all to do to other countries that have a problem with Americans. You just gotta let us know. That's it. Just tell us. You're not gonna hurt our feelings. Trust me, you're not gonna hurt our feelings. So my two younger brothers are like, oh shit. Yeah. No, I'm the older. Sorry about that, guys. Um, with Taurus Sun and Aquarius Moon, I just don't move from the spot easily. Yeah. Yeah, that's too fixed. Ooh. My two younger brothers are like, oh shit. Yeah, that's true, Susan. That's kind of my energy. I'm the oldest, though. I'm the eldest. Yeah, it's so funny. I just have to do a look. And they're like, oh shit. I'm the eldest of seven. Yeah. It's usually the older one. It's usually the oldest, but sometimes you get that one like Susan, where it's because I've seen where it's the youngest. It's funny. The two ones that I can think of that were the youngest, they were Capricorns though. They were like, "Roar," they would run the house. Yeah, they would run the house. They were Capricorns. That's so funny. But anyway, as we move along into Pluto and Aquarius, because all this energy right now, if y'all look, Pluto's at 1 degree, right? With the sun conjunct. So y'all are going to see a lot of light being shown on right now, especially like today, tomorrow, the next day, the last couple days. how Pluto is like, this is your identity, right? So how are you going to be in this? How are you going to try to navigate in this, right? Pluto, the sun is going to give you glimpses, just like me coming on and explaining this, just glimpses of where we're headed, glimpses of where we're going, understanding, epiphanies, aha moments of what I was like, just like me explaining all this lets you know, oh, okay, that's Pluto conjunct the sun, right? Remember, it is opposing that Mars retrograde. We've already talked about the Mars retrograde, right? Opposing Mars retrograde. Are you standing in your truth? Are you protecting what you have? Are you um, keeping the boundaries that you have decided that you were worth, right? But remember, this isn't going to be resolved until June. Yeah, this isn't going to be resolved until June, but we're working in it. We're trying to figure it out. That's Pluto with that Mars retrograde. But now the sun comes over, and what you couldn't see before, what you maybe were trying to figure out, you should get some news about. You should get some understanding about. You should get some clarity in over these, either yesterday, day before, or the next couple of days, right? As the sun comes this way, right? But today, I mean, I wouldn't doubt it if a lot of you got clarity. Um, Now that has to do with that Pluto and Mars. And remember, we talked about the nodals earlier, right? So, like, that Neptune is right over my north node, because my north node is 27 degrees. So Neptune is right over my north node, right? You have Venus right there. You have Saturn you're working with as well. Like, they're not, these two are conjunct. So Saturn and Venus. Have you been loved enough? Do you know how you want to be loved? Have you nurtured yourself enough? Right? As I'm saying this, I'm like pointing to myself. Have you nurtured yourself enough? Have you worked on nurturing yourself enough? That's Saturn. I am going to test you to see if you are nurturing yourself enough. Now, I already know Virgo South Node body, Pisces North Node, not out of body, right? If I do not nurture myself enough, I can get misaligned, right? And I'm gonna stop calling it illness. I'm gonna stop calling it sick. I don't like those words. I was in the health industry. I don't want to call it that anymore. I want to call it alignment and misalignment, because that's kind of how I see it. Now, my body will get misaligned, and Saturn is here testing me. Have this area for me is the other side and this side. Am I working in it, right? So, here comes Venus talking to Saturn. Saturn saying, what do you need, Venus? And Venus is like, I need some more loving. I need some nurturing. I need some understanding. I need some grace. I need some compassion. That's Venus talking to Saturn. Saturn's like, are you doing that enough for yourself? Right? We have the nodes here. If you're not, your body and Mars with Pluto. If you are not, your body will suffer. You will be misaligned, right? And what did I say I was doing before I got ill? I was very focused. I was doing herbs, and I was trying to do 2 series, right? Virgo, South Node. I planned it out. I wrote everything out. I did it for the year, and I was doing probably too much. And Saturn comes in here and is like, you know better. My North Node and South Node are like, you know better. And Pluto is like, okay, you don't want to listen. There's Mars, your body, retrograde. Time to settle down. It's just like what Polly said. you know they will shut it down for you if you do not, right? What did Polly say? Let me go up here and look. I can't remember what she said, word for word. Yeah, she said, you know as well as I do that sometimes you get shut down because you need to rest. Exactly. That was my Venus saying, are you paying attention? Are you nurturing yourself? Are you loving yourself? Are you honoring yourself? And I was like, yeah, yeah, yeah. But I'm so excited about doing all this stuff. No, you're not honoring yourself. You're not. Polly says, need real clarity now. My court ordered income from my ex was lost by post office. Oh no. Lost a pretty big chunk and can't contact the ex. I would contact the courts. That's crazy, Polly. Crazy, crazy. Well, we've got the Sun and Pluto right here with Mars retrograde. So here's what I'll tell you about this. Since I'm talking about the reason I talk about me sometimes is because it's the way that you guys can, it's like the way that you can relate to it. It's like this is what I'm showing you in the charts. You can see it in someone's life, right? So this Mars retrograde and it's connected to the Venus and Pluto, right? So Mars retrograde, opposing Pluto, this stuff happened, I did the whole video about that. And this is like, okay, for me, the way that I'm understanding it for me is yes, you do love to do all this stuff. You're doing exactly what you want to do. These things make you happy. This group makes you happy. You have a lot of people that you love, a lot of people that love you. You love what you're doing. You don't have a contradiction in that. What you need to do is learn how to balance that within you, right? Your Virgo side, I'm talking to myself, your Virgo side wants to overdo, overplan. Because in the past, you could work 80 hours, 120 hours, but look where that got you, right? You could work that. So you've already proven to yourself, Cindy, that you can do this. And I know you get excited and want to do 2 series and, be online every day and da 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 da. But that's not, you want that because you get excited, because you want to be with people, because you love your group, because you love what you do. But that is not everything. You also are telling me, Cindy, as you're talking to the universe, that you want an easy life, that you want abundance, that you want laughter and joy. If you're always working, even if it's for the good of humanity, you're going to end up at the end of your life at the same place that you did not enjoy your moments because you were working. So, even though your mind and your soul automatically goes to, well, if I plan it out, I can do it, and I know I can do it because blah, 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 whatever, that is not what you want. What you want is to be able to balance that. And you know this, Cindy, but the second that you don't do this, Cindy, your body is going to suffer. It's going to get misaligned. And that's what's happened. So I haven't figured that out yet. I've been working on this for a couple years, right? More than a couple. But this Mars retrograde right now is having you say with Pluto, are you honoring yourself? Are you protecting your health? Are you protecting your soul? Are you protecting your life? Are you protecting you And you just have to practice in this. This is what this Mars retrograde is about. Let's practice on how my higher self is saying, Cindy, it's not like you can't do this. You can, and you can do it with ease. But this is what this Mars retrograde with Pluto is. Don't lean too much on your work and don't lean too much on leisure. You're having to understand how to balance this Mars retrograde. How am I going to do this? That's all I'm doing is I'm working through that. I'm working on understanding how do I protect what I've created, protect myself, and I'm using protect because Mars is about protection, right? But Mars is about ambition and it's about, and I've got my Mars in the 10th house, right? I've told you all about that. We've talked about that. Mars in the 10th house, especially next to the moon, I'm always going to do well in whatever I choose to do. That's just my path. Okay. But even though it's there, I still have this problem of overdoing it, right? So I have to relax, enjoy, know that even if it takes you a week to get back on, you're going to be fine, right? You can do the 2 series and the membership and coming on live. You can do that, right? You can do that. You're just having to a you're just having to um have more experience in it, right? So the more you work in it, the more you work that way, the easier it'll get for you, right? And that means when you're not working, you enjoy, right? Having the pleasures in life, having the joyness in life, because that is my purpose. My purpose is not, I mean, we have lots of purpose. My purpose is not to help the world. I help the world because I want to. My purpose for my soul is to enjoy life. That's my purpose, to find some happiness. That's my purpose. A balance, yes. And it's so funny. It's a balance. I have to learn to balance that. And that's all I'm doing in Mars retrograde is balance. So if you look like on my chart, and I can tell you right now, the reason I'm getting this is because for me, Cancer is my 5th house, right? That's my pleasure. That's my joy. And Mars came in there and was like, okay, you got to work it right or you're going to suffer, right? And the second that I did it and was trying to overdo it and then pulled back, that's when my body got involved. That makes sense? Yes. Living in the moment is exactly why I made myself Gemini. Not worrying about the future, not worrying about the past. Living in the moment. Because Geminis, they're they're experts. That is their talent, is to live in the moment. They know how to live in their now, right? So look to where that Mars is for you. What house is it? It's retrograding. It's opposing that Pluto. Excuse me. And then the sun comes in there and gets some clarity. But like I said, that's only part of the story. There's a bigger story going on, right? So that was 30 minutes longer than I was going to go. My voice is and my throat's getting really dry. I got to go take my herbs to get rebalanced and work on some videos. So, does anybody have any questions before I go? I hope y'all understood and I made some kind of sense. Thank you guys for listening to me rant and talk all this nonsense. And I'm doing good. It's only 10:30 in the morning. I'm just catching the tail end, but happy Aquarius season. Hope you have a good birthday, Cindy. So my ascending is Aquarius. My birthday is not. It's only Sun Aquarius that don't have birthdays right now. My rising is Aquarius, but thank you, Brittany. I'm a Gemini Sun, but I'm like a. I think it's 12 degrees, 9 degrees. I will start at the beginning. So good to have you back. Thank you, Susan. But happy Aquarius season to all you Aquarians. Um, you other ones get ready because it's gonna be. I'm feeling like Aquarians are finally back in society. Like they detached and they're finally connecting again. So y'all get ready because there's gonna be some cool, strange stuff. Cindy, you take care of you and feel better. Always glad to be with you. Yep. Thank you guys for joining. Thank you guys for coming in. I really appreciate you. Thank you to all my members. As soon as my voice gets better, I'm gonna start reading for you guys because I'm excited. I want to read. I want to see what happens to her. Anyway, I love you, love you, love you. Have a great, wonderful day. I will be back soon and see you on the next one.